Nguyen Tat Thanh, better known as Ho Chi Minh, was a leader of the Vietnamese Communist movement and a person who played an important role in the struggle of the Vietnamese people against French colonialism. Ho is the son of a Vietnamese government official who was willing to resign, in protest against French supremacy in Vietnam. He was born on May 19, 1890 in Kimlien Village, Annam Province, Vietnam. In 1911 he worked as a cook on a steamer, and since then worked in London and Paris. After World War I he took the pseudonym Nguyen Ai Quoc, Nguyen-Patriot, and became involved in various radical activities, and was one of the first groups to found the French Communist Party. Ho was then summoned to Moscow for training, and in late 1924 sent to Guangzhou, China, where he founded a revolutionary movement among Vietnamese exiles. He was forced to leave China when the local government became aware of communist activities, but he returned in 1930 and founded the Indochinese Communist Party (ICP). In 1941, he reconnected with ICP officials, and helped found the Vietnamese independence movement communist movement, that became known as the Viet Minh. When Japan surrendered in 1945, the Viet Minh took the opportunity to proclaim the Democratic Republic of Vietnam with Ho Chi Minh as president. The French did not want to accept this, and decided to go to war against the Viet Minh. After 8 years of war, France finally won the Battle of Dien Bien Phu in 1954. Ho Chi Minh was the first leader of the Vietnamese nationalist movement. Ho Chi Minh expressed the hearts of his people even when he had to fight against the invaders to call for his nation's independence from Vietnam. Inspired by the Bolshevik Revolution, Ho Chi Minh joined the Communist Party, and decided to travel to the Soviet Union and China to spread socialist doctrine throughout Southeast Asia. At the end of World War II, Ho Chi Minh begged the United States to help him liberate Vietnam from French rule. But the world order after the Second World War was not in his favor, and Ho Chi Minh intended to reconcile his country's aspirations with the Soviet Union and Communist China. During the Vietnam War, it became a symbol of the liberation of Vietnam and its nemesis, the United States. This hero of Vietnam's liberation suffered from declining health in 1967. Ho Chi Minh died of heart failure at his home in Hanoi on September 19, 1969 at the age of 79. Ho Chi Minh's words of wisdom. Remember that the storm is a good opportunity for the pine and the cypress to show their strength and their stability. It was patriotism, not communism, that inspired me. The rice grain suffers under the blow of the pestle, but admire its whiteness once the order is over. So it is with men and the world we live in. To be a man, one must suffer the blows of misfortune. If you do not condemn colonialism, if you do not side with the colonial people, what kind of revolution are you waging? Today we should make poems including iron and steel, and the poet should know how to lead an attack. You can kill 10 of our men for every one we kill of yours. But even at those odds, you will lose and we will win. We have a secret weapon, it is called nationalism. Our mountains will always be, our rivers will always be, our people will always be. The American invaders defeated, we will rebuild our land 10 times more beautiful. Military action without politics is like a tree without a root. A poet must learn to wage war. Although our fight will be long and hard, our people are resolved to fight till final victory. I and others may be revolutionaries, but we are disciples of Mahatma Gandhi, directly or indirectly, nothing more, nothing less. Write in such a way as that you can be readily understood by both the young and the old, by men as well as women, even by children. But by reading them again and again, finally I was able to grasp the essential part. What emotion, enthusiasm, enlightenment and confidence they communicated to me. I wept for joy. Our resistance will be long and painful, but whatever the sacrifices, however long the struggle, we shall fight to the end, until Vietnam is fully independent and reunified. Nothing is more precious than independence and liberty. The Vietnamese people deeply love independence, freedom and peace. But in the face of United States aggression they have risen up, united as one man. When the prison doors are open, the real dragon will fly out. Every house was festooned with flowers and with lanterns. On the National Day, the whole country went wild with joy, but on that very day, I was placed in chains and transferred. The wind remains contrary to the flight of the eagle. I only follow one party, the Vietnamese Party. I'm very moved to be here today. Our lives are now much better, but Vietnam remains a very poor country. We need to work much harder. Love other human beings as you would love yourself. The object of my relationship with Vietnam has been to heal the wounds that exist, particularly among our veterans, and to move forward with a positive relationship. Apparently some in the Vietnamese government don't want to do that, and that's their decision. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and share it with your friends, so we can continue to make more videos. Hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to press the bell button. Also, be sure to check out our other videos. May be useful. Thank you for watching.